And in the dream, what is the mind doing? It produces in its own manner, within its own range and arena, all the objects that you see otherwise in the wakeful world. So the mind is capable of producing all these things. So the world has been produced by your mind or by some external factor. All these thoughts should parade your mind. Now, this sleep gives us a lot of clues. You cannot say how pregnant is our sleep condition. It is so very beautiful. See how Shankaracharya makes an example. He is pointing to a very serious truth here. Indrendraanyoh prakamam surata sukhajushoh syat ratam das sushuptihi. Indra is considered to be a man, a god, a deva who is given maximum to romance and romantic indulgence. Now his wife is Indrani. So Indra and Indrani had some romantic indulgence, conjugal indulgence, and at the end of it what happened? Both of them retired, receded and withdrew into what? Syat ratam das sushuptihi. How long did the conjugal meeting last? Maybe for a few moments, 15 minutes or half an hour. Thereafter, they entered into sleep. Entered means what? The system totally receded, withdrew, completely receded, withdrew, and it fell into sleep. The occurrence of sleep, the prevalence of sleep, the incidence of sleep is very, very natural. At the end of the wakefulness, we go to sleep. There is nobody who remains wakeful forever. It is the sleep that gives energy and drive to become wakeful and to be active. So the sushupti has got a lot of importance. So at the end of the conjugal indulgence, they receded into sushupti. Tasyam anandasandram padamati gahanam. See, when you have something extremely pleasant, very endearing, very ecstatic, very delightful, very titillating, if the mind leaves that and goes to another, the second condition should be greater and loftier than the first. Not only this, I always cite another instance. In a family, a child is born after a lot of expectation. The little child, the baby is born. And the mother who is undergoing the maternity, confinement, she is generally tired. Still she looks after the child. When looking after the child, if she becomes tired, what will she do? She will gently place the child on the bed, gently lie and go to sleep. So looking the child is something very pleasant and endearing, very endearing. Even that endearingness she leaves and goes to sleep. So is not the sleep superior to what she is having now? We can leave something and get hold of another thing only when the second is superior to the other. Otherwise we will not leave. A man changes a job when he gets a higher salary. Otherwise he will not change. Every time it is so. So, syad radamtah sushuptihi. The same thing is happening to Indra and Indrani also. Therefore, what is the conclusion? Tasyam. In that sushupti sleep, anandasandram padamati gahanam yatsa anandakosha. In a conjugal context, it is a kind of a bilateral or dependent delight. But in the sushupti, it is subjective, independent, sovereign, and I am using a word, Noumenal, noumenal joy. A joy that comes from the noumenon. There are two words, phenomenon and noumenon. Phenomena means something in the objective world, the objectude. Noumenon means something in the subject horizon. So this is a joy that comes to you from the subject, not from the object. That noumenal joy. Padam adigahanam yatsa ananda kosha. So the real ananda kosha is had in sushupti. In sushupti you are alone, solitarily involved in it. And nobody else is involved. You don't have to seek anybody's favor. I want to sleep. I sleep myself. Maybe the others are wakeful. The other one is a partnership program. This is not a partnership program. He simply gets into that Ananda Kosha state. Yatsa Ananda Kosha tasminno veda kinchid niradishaya sukhabhyantare liyamano. Just imagine what is the situation. Tasmin, in that sushupti. If the other thing is a kind of a delight, a bilateral delight, this is a solitary one, and this is very intense, immense, wholesome and absorbing. Absolutely absorbing. How long do you sleep? You sleep for hours together. Not 5 minutes, 10 minutes or anything like that. There are people who can sleep for 7, 8 or even 10 hours. So what is it that makes you sleep? It is a wonderful embrace from the invisible Lord. The invisible spirit or the presence inside your body embraces every cell of yours. That is why you become completely relaxed. Every cell of your body is going to sleep. It is involved in it. So, niradishaya sukhabhyantare liyamane. Without knowing anything, you are getting into an incomparable, impenetrable, unparalleled comfort and happiness. In that you get totally dissolved and merged. Dukhi syat bodhitas sannidhi kushalamatihi. Is there anybody who likes in this world to be disturbed in sleep? If anybody is sleeping comfortably, I know of houses where they get some food item at a particular time the children have gone into sleep. So the mothers with a lot of affection somehow will open the mouth of the sleeping boy and put the sweet into the mouth and he will swallow it. Next morning you ask him, did you remember I have given you a sweet? Mother, I did not know about it. Now what does it mean? It means something. We don't like to be disturbed at all when we are sleeping. It is so comfortable a state. If we can sleep forever, problem is for the others. We have no problem at all. There are instances when people have a heart attack in sleep and nobody knows. I had a devotee, she started asking, her husband died in heart attack, which occurred during the time of sleep. So in sleep, if a heart attack occurs, what happens? The patient doesn't know, only the others come to know of it. So the sleep is so solitary in nature, so involving and wholesome and sovereign, that nothing is parallel to it. Now he cites this instance, Dukhi syad bodhidas sannidhi kushalamatihi bodhaye naiva suptam. So do not wake up anybody who is given to sleep. Now why I mentioned this? I would like you to be abstemious in your life. You should always grow sufficiently with the practice of celibacy and be very abstemious. Have your conjugal privilege and exercise. Be restricted in the whole month, restricted to a few days. For the rest of the period, you have to become celibate. This celibacy, I had written a series of articles in our Vicharasetu magazine where I said, celibacy, a sadly misunderstood virtue. It's actually a virtue and it is misunderstood. All of you think that, oh, let brahmacharis become celibates. Let ascetics become celibates. Celibacy is not for us. It is only for you, not for anybody else. How to practice celibacy is mentioned here. Now, Bhartrhari made use of nature's provision. Nature herself has designed a permission there. She made use of it and left all the rest, and he was able to fulfill his promise to his father, I will not have a son, I will not have a child. Why I am mentioning all this? Only in the context of this particular verse. Yadgrana bhaksho vihitas suraya tatha pashor alabhanam nahimsa evam vyavayah prajayana retya imam vishuddham na viduswadharmam. Here what is the emphasis? The emphasis is that the household community does not recognize this pure role of householder life. Imam vishuddham na viduswadharmam. Actually, the household life is something very pure and sublime. The purity and the sublimity of household life is not understood by householders. Yogi Chamasa points out what is happening because of this ignorance and delusion? Etvanevam vido asantaha stabdhaha sadabhimaninaha pashun druhyandi visrabdhaha pretya khadandite cha tan. These are all very, very vehement and powerful statements. Such powerful statements are necessary to make our minds and tendencies withdraw from it. Etu anevam vido asantaha. The purity of household life, its sublimity and majesty, not understanding it. What are they doing? Etu anevam vido asantaha. They are given to improper ways. They don't think of what is propriety and what is righteous. Stabdhaha. They are extremely proud and conceited. Sadabhimanaha. Sadabhimaninaha. What is meant by sadabhimaninaha? I don't know whether it will be clear when I say this. There is something called self-righteousness. One begins to think that I know what is right and whatever I do is right. Let nobody tell me. I am a householder, I am a married man. What are my privileges? What are my proprieties? I know. Let nobody advise me. So this kind of a self-righteous notion is there. They are deluded by that. Sadabhimaninaha. Pashun druhyanti visrabdhaha. Without any compunction whatsoever. I am sometimes imagining, a very holy sacrifice is being performed. And we are chanting the sublime, sacred, sanctifying Veda mantras, Vedic hymns. Keeping all these things, we bring an animal. And the animal is under terror. And without any compunction, they hurt and kill the animal. I cannot understand how the two can join. You are performing a very holy sacrifice, meant to holify you, purify you, elevate you, give you all the goodness. In that, how is it that you are not compassionate to the animal? Where is the place for a slaughter there? I really don't understand. Think about it. Pashun druhyanti visrabdha. Without any care, concern, compassion or mercy, they hurt and kill the animal. Pretya khadandi te chatan. And what is happening? All these animals, after the Yajamana's body falls, Yajamana means the performer of the sacrifice. When the body falls, they are waiting upon him and they kill him and eat him. Now this is the statement made by Chamasa. Be very sure about it. I would like every one of you to think afresh in the matter. Even now, animal slaughter is in vogue in many of the states, particularly in the north. Every one of you should start thinking against it. Let us not be barbarous anymore. Our civilization is so pure, so holy, so majestic, that it does not allow any kind of a hurt or a harm in this manner. What nonsense is this? Would you like to kill your child? Would you like to kill anything whatsoever? Then why is it that we are indulging in slaughter and taking sanction from the holy Vedas for the purpose? So, killing itself is wrong, and courting and using the Vedas to justify it and to do it as a part of Vedic life is all the more wrong. So let us avoid this. Etvanevam vido asandaha stabdhaha sadabhimaninaha pashun druhyanti visrabdhaha pretya khadandi te chatan. But in this matter, people are piously devoted to this task, thinking that it is holy, thinking that it is great, thinking that I will be rewarded heaven. In this matter, many people are very strong, and they are piously deluded. With a lot of piety and religious fervor, they are deluded. So the piety and the religious fervor do not act as a safeguard against delusion, ignorance and cruelty. They seem to be permitting it. What kind of a travesty is this? You think about it. I am reminded of the story of Prachina Barhis, given in the 4th skandha of Sreemad Bhagavatam. Prajina Barhis thought he would perform a number of yagas in his life. So he started performing one after the other, a number of yagas. Now for every yaga, you have to use many items, and kusha grass is something very important. So as a result of having performed so much yaga, his kusha grass had practically covered the whole of the earth. So how many yaga he must have performed? Narada felt bad about it. So he came there. And in all these yagas, he had to slaughter, sacrifice animals. So can you imagine? One person doing so many yagas. So much so, the kusha grass used by him was covering the whole of the earth. How many animals he must have sacrificed? Suppose nobody stops him, he will continue to do it. Because his idea is that I am doing it very piously, ceremonially, religiously, spiritually. It is for higher reward. I am making my life fully religious. This is the feeling that he has. Totally deluded. So Narada went to him. After all, Narada is a sage. When a sage goes and talks to a householder, the householder cannot refuse. So however, scripturally, Prajina Barhis must have been informed, he was deluded. So Narada decided to point it out. He went to him and he starts accosting him. Bho bho prajapate rajan pashun pashya tvaya adhvare samjnapitan jiva sankhan nirghanena sahasrashaha. Bho bho prajapate rajan. Oh, my dear great king, listen. What is it? Pashun pashya tvayadhvare samjnapitan jiva sankhan nirghanena sahasrashaha. Nirghanena, without having any touch or an iota of compassion, sympathy in your mind. Jiva sankhan, pashun. Herds of animals, not one. Sahasrashaha, thousands of animals you have used in these sacrifices. And at no point of time you felt compassionate to any one of them. Are not they as alive as you are? You are walking on 2 legs, they are walking on 4 feet, that's all the difference. Maybe they have 2 horns and you don't have. But they are also alive. They are also active. They also have a biological body, subject to pain and pleasure. Without having no thought or concern for any one of them. Bho, bho, prajapate. You are supposed to be protecting human beings. And many of these animals are useful to humanity itself. They are as much a part of the earth as we human beings and kings are. In spite of it, samjnapitan, jiva sankhan. All of them you killed. Thousands and thousands of them. And how did you kill them? You killed them by stifling them. Closing the mouth as well as the nose. Ede tvam sampradikshande smaranto vaishasam tava. What is the factor that enabled you, empowered you, guided you to kill them? Though they are physically stronger than you, you are a human being. You have that human skill, human intelligence, human ingenuity. So you can call others, tie the animal down, and then you can kill them. It is not necessarily a one-to-one affair. So you have overcome the superiority of the animal so far as bodily features are concerned. And because of your intelligence and ingenuity, you have been able to kill them. You feel strong. I have got the power to do it. You have got the power when? When you have the body. Will this body remain forever? No, it will fall one day. One day it will fall. When it falls, what is going to happen to you? You are expecting that your soul will survive. My dear viewers, are you listening to me and understanding? I am interpreting and narrating to you something very profound. There is a great message in what is being said. The human is able to kill so many animals only because of his wisdom and special powers. The animals are helpless. This helplessness of the animals and the superiority of the human, how long? only as long as our body remains. When the body falls, you believe in a jiva, and that jiva you believe will survive when the body falls, and it is that jiva that is going to be transported to heaven. So you believe in the life after death and also in going to heaven. So the person who is going to survive, whatever in you the Raja is going to survive, when the body is gone, your powers also are gone. You will not be able to do anything. All these animals, mind you, ede tvam sampratikshante. You have killed them here. You have killed their bodies. But their souls are not killed. All of them are waiting up there. Waiting up there. And they are waiting for you. Ede tvam sampratikshante. They are awaiting you. Physically, he proved himself stronger and killed all of us. Let his body fall. And the moment his body falls and he rises up, we will surround him. We will surround him. They are waiting there. Smaranto vaishasam tava, tava vaishasam smarantaha. Remembering very strongly the cruelty that you have inflicted upon them. Samparetam ayahkudaihi chindandi uthidamanyavaha. You can imagine how wrathful they would be. With aggravated and enhanced anger, hatred and intolerance, they will pierce you with what? Ayakudaihi chindandi. With their horns which are as sharp as a steel pen. Ayakudaihi, very sharp horns, steel-like sharp. With their horns, they will pierce you. Actually, Narada was casting an illusion, as a result of which he was showing to him so many animals ready to pierce him. By virtue of his yogic powers, he displayed it. Suddenly, Prajina Barhis, he became illumined. He was disillusioned. He became illumined. He stopped all the yajnas, listened to Narada's words, heeded him completely. So, the calamity and the tragedy were saved by that. Ede tvam sampratikshande smaranto vaishasam tava samparedam ayakudaihi chindandi uthidamanyavaha. Just see how our scriptures are trying to teach you and arouse in you the greater wisdom and discrimination. Dushandav parakayeshu swatmanam harimishwaram mridage sanubandhesmin baddhasneha padandyathaha. Dushandaha parakayeshu. Whenever you hate anybody, whom are you hating? Those people who are different from you, either one or more of them. It can be human beings, it can be animals, it can be anything else. Dushantaha parakayeshu swatmanam harimishwaram. Are you following me? I am wondering. Dushantaha, you are hating. Hating whom? Swatmanam harimishwaram. Whenever you hate anybody in this world, understand that you are not hating the body, but hating Lord Hari himself, who is present in every body like the soul. So your hatred addressed to or related to anyone, it is actually hatred to Lord Hari. He is an all-indweller. So the hatred is towards Lord Hari. Whenever you blame anybody, cavil at anybody, it is actually just like you chant Sahasranama. Chanting of Sahasranama is good because all the namas are about Lord Vishnu or your pet god. Similarly, when you are hating the people, it is actually hating Lord Hari present. Harim, Ishwaram, Swatmanam. 3 words have been used. Swatmanam. Your own self is present in all other creatures. And that self is no other than Ishwara and Lord Hari.